Well, she walked into the club that night. The tears are streaming down her face. And she looked up at Big Jim Giglio. Oh, Jim. She said, I bet you every bit of money in the whole wide world that if Lady Godiva rode in there on her horse, all the commissioners at that fair, they wouldn't speak to her either. The night before the World's Fair opened, they had erected this huge pavilion, $100 a plate dinner, as far as the eye could see, for all the elite of Chicago. The promenaders running through the whole fair. And just on the other side is the itty-bitty podium, and the commissioners are saying, ladies and gentlemen, your investments are sound. And all of a sudden, clippity-clop, clippity, what is this coming down the promenade? It's a big, white, prancing horse with a nude Sally Rand. And she's riding bareback, and she's riding side saddle, with a garland of flowers around one ankle and all this massive hair. Well, the people pull their heads up in their dinner and they scream, we're going to have Lady Godiva. And the commissioners are saying, get the journalists. Don't let them get out of this park. Too late, front page. What a miraculous feat our World's Fair has pulled off. We're going to have Lady Godiva. Well, the little girl who manned the switchboard, she wasn't at that big hoop-de-doo that night. No, she was home sleeping. But when she got to work, every major news agency in America had called and said, we're making our way to Chicago. We want to interview Lady Godiva. Calls came from Covington, England. We're making preparation to come to America. We want to interview this person who was calling herself Lady Godiva. The chaos did not let up. It only got worse. They had to go down to the club and say, Miss Rand, we've reconsidered. We're going to book you into the streets of Paris at $75 a week. Within 6 weeks, they rose her salary to $1,000 a week. And she pulled Chicago out of financial ruin with these two fans. These are the original fans of Sally Rand. Now, I'm not just saying that. In 1933, that's either a recreation of the article or not, but a girl mailed me that and said, it says on there, the success of the Chicago World's Fair is attributed to Sally. Now, she had to come up with a bubble dance because when she was so famous with the fan dance, why, girls all over America all fan dancing was just wild in the clubs. So she came up with the bubble, so I'll do my act behind the balloon. She did this great bubble act. Well, she went to Washington, D.C. She got herself a high-powered patent attorney, and he won, manufacturing a balloon that size or larger. All rights belong to Miss Sally Rand from here to eternity. World War II broke out. President Roosevelt said, get up the weather balloon. We can't. Sally holds the patent on it. So Miss Rand did relinquish her patent to the United States government only. She did release a patent to little Miss, well, you girls know the Oriental culture, very reserved and refined. And this little girl, she was 19 years old in 1941, and she had to say, Mother, I am going to be the first American Chinese fan dancer. And Sally let her, give her permission to produce the bubble. It had to be a few sizes smaller, but she let her. And this girl played San Francisco, New York, wound up being a motion picture actress, and she married a Chinese movie actor. So at any rate, Sally Rand is an icon, and several reasons why. Because you see, kids, during the 30s, as we know how desperate it was, standing at the kitchen, in every sink and kitchen in America, there's a housewife. She's got tears in her eyes. She does not know how she's going to put food on the table. But the mention of Sally Rand, if they'd hear that name, somebody made it out there. Something is happening. And it was Sally Rand. She broke the back of the Great Depression. And kids cannot fathom that men scraped up $700 to start a factory. How do you start a factory with $700? They did. And those factories are still in existence. Because a man named Tom Chandler, he has in San Bernardino these museum like this, only wound music. And he said he went to buy her a ranch when she was 80 years old, and he said, Dixie, never in my life would I ever expect to see so much gold and silver in one room. Thanks, Sally. Congratulations. And those big corporations are still around and so forth and so on. Because, see, she would fly in to the little sausage factory, shoe factory, wherever there was a little something or other, trying to get on his feet, trying to start. Because during the 30s, you see, everyone in America that had any kind of anything to help someone else, that's sort of the way it was to get through. But she was the icon that broke the back of the Great Depression. Yes, she was.